keys. Oh, am I still live? Oh, now I feel ridiculous. Okay, looks good. Other than Mabby just not working. Yeah, I look live again. Okay. Let's see if Mabby lets me in. Bum 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 bum. 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 Sorry about that, everyone. I hope they let me in. And dang, it was middle of cutscene too. It would be better if it was at the end of the cutscene. But this music is popping. And yes, they let me back in. We're just not reading all that again. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. I guess while I'm clicking through, I'll explain it once more, like the rules for the contest again. So I believe I'm gonna make it last 1 month, but essentially what's going to happen is that whoever clips like a really hi Adrian plays. I feel like I've seen you. The real Adrian plays. Is it TikTok? I feel like it's TikTok. Adarian plays. Sorry. Oh, hi. PC game on Pui is a. I do have a TikTok. How do you know? I saw it. You were recommended to me. Because I remember thinking like, why is this person like why did they recommend this person to me? I didn't know, so I didn't follow. But now that I know, I'll follow. But yes, it's gonna last like a month, and then whoever just clips, and then whoever gets the most views on the clips that they make, I'll give $10 to in like a $10 gift card. Blah 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 blah. I don't VTube stream anymore. No, no. You should stream. I'm not sure why he looks so mad at me for a second. I know that was just like the face that I paused. Oh no! Oh, I skipped too much. I skipped too much, you guys. As you are aware, the rifts link distant places together. Such a phenomenon can only be caused by harnessing a power far beyond the ken of mortals. As such, we initially assumed that the rifts were a random occurrence, haphazardly connecting locations with no rhyme or reason. But as they continued to disappear and reappear, we began to suspect that they were following some pattern, that there was a deeper purpose guiding them. Well, I would stream Mabby, but I want to get, but I don't want to get banned. Why were you getting banned? I'd rather have breakfast at McDonald's. Nah, breakfast at McDonald's is good. I love breakfast at McDonald's, but why did we mention this? I love their hash browns. Then there was an incident. A few of our people stationed on the right on the night. A few of our people stationed on the night watch disappeared without a trace. The rift must have appeared after the skies were dark, and none noticed his presence in the time to block access to the area. The missing knights weren't returned to us until early evening the next day. Oh no. At least they were returned to us physically, but they were changed, sluggish, unresponsive. It was almost like they had been in a deep trance. And what's more, and what's more, what's more, I froze again. Okay, I'm back. They need to stop. I need to stop freezing. And what's more, Llewellyn suddenly stops, scans the room of faces, looking expectantly for him to continue, and gives Autumn a quiet, querying look. Autumn gives a nod of approval, and Llewellyn reluctantly continues. Some of those who returned had been drained of all their divine light. We could sense not a trace of it within them. Wait, are you sure it was caused by travel through the rift? If that were the case, how does one explain her having avoided a similar fate? They ventured into the rifts on a number of occasions in order to close them. Of course, I did ward off anything within the rift that looked dangerous, and it's likely that the power of Limerick imbued within the holy flame offered some additional measure of protection. What? She went into the rift? Oh no! Autumn! I get way too emotional for no reason. Like, I just don't like seeing my favorites cry. And you love the sausage, I can't even English. I love the sausage McMuffin. I haven't had a McMuffin in a minute. I usually go for the big breakfast. So like the pancakes, the eggs, the biscuit, and the hash brown. You really did? Didn't you? Are you sure you're alright? As soon as Etain pauses and the flustered Autumn tries to rush to your side, but the watchful Llewellyn grabs him by the arm, holding him back. No! Let my Autumn express any type of emotion that he wants. Like, why are we... Ugh. Okay. How are you feeling? I've been concerned about your forays into these rifts. It would be bad enough if you'd gone into one, but the frequency with which you ventured into them. I received a report about a rift that appeared in another town. It was observed that any animals or monsters that went through the rift turned violent. That has me worried. You're okay though, right? If something were to happen to you, I don't know what I'd do. Thank her for her concern. Say that you'll be fine. Tell her to focus on the problem. That sounds rude. That's a lie, so I'm gonna thank her for her concern. From the slight trembling of her voice, you can tell how genuine her worry for you is. You smile at Irwin and tell her you appreciate her care for your well-being. Well, you don't need to thank me for that. Just for that. But seeing you smile as you often do, I can take heart, trusting that nothing terrible has befallen you. Everyone is like, ahem. You feel everyone's eyes upon you as they stare at you with obvious concern. Could it be that Militians are resistant to the effects of the rifts compared to the other people? Possibly. But it was because of what happened to those knights that we realized we had to do something. And believe me, convincing our leadership to follow this path was no simple task. We've asked our knights to forego one of our founding tenets. Much soul-searching was had by all. Meanwhile, the rifts continue to appear in more and more locations, almost as though they've been seeking something. I wonder if my VTuber is making the face I am. No, it is not. I'm like my face is really distressed, but it looks like I'm smiling. Like my eyebrows are like, yeah, it doesn't copy it fully. Meanwhile, the rifts continue to appear in more and more locations, almost as though they are seeking something. Only those gifted with the strongest will have the power to resist such darkness. Just as my knights have their divine light stolen, many more will suffer from these rifts. The Order of the Black Moon surely has some sinister design for what they've absorbed from the living beings fortunate enough to have been swallowed by the rift. Absorbing. So our power is getting absorbed too? That's kind of freaky. In one sense, it was fortunate we realized that the rift had siphoned the divine light from our knights. It created a trail that we could follow, you see. After much surveying and study, we discovered that these rifts had been funneled that energy. It was flowing to the deepest reaches of the Troy Ravine, a place far from the sanctuary. The question, then, is what the Order intends to do with that power. Whatever their intention, the misuse of such power represents a danger to us all. Indeed it does, and I believe that the focus of our discussion just before you, Marlid and Etain arrived. This divine light isn't a power of the goddess etched into marble. for one of the three gods commonly known in Olda. This is the power of absolute God, whom these knights serve, a true omnipotent deity. How is that word deity? It doesn't look like it would be deity. Am I saying it wrong? Am I pronouncing that word wrong? It's time. Yes, it's time to duel. Just kidding. Yes, let's dance. Let's go. I'm gonna keep dancing until the emotes fall. Because I should be seeing emotes falling now. Huh. They didn't pop up for whatever reason. Or did they? The Order of the Black Moon, who claims to be the followers of Hemeric, are you trying to use that power? The Order believes all of this has to be in accordance with the divine revelation. Speaking personally, what the gods want isn't important to me, and whether their tenets are wise or foolish doesn't interest me in the slightest. She's telling it like it is. What does matter a great deal is the fact that the path they've chosen is paved with the suffering of countless people. I'll never understand those who devote themselves to such twisted ideals. Who would be proud of such wanton cruelty? Rest assured, I feel the very same. Our knights reach similar conclusions as well. We've already contacted all the unit leaders, and as soon as we've concluded our business here, the knights will advance on the ravine. We must mitigate the damage before an even greater catastrophe befalls us. We can't let them abuse the divine light for their wicked schemes. If our predictions are correct, more rifts will soon open all over Ulda and Iria. We don't know exactly what the Order is trying to accomplish, but we can be sure that scores more people will be sacrificed to these rifts. As the regent of the human kingdom, I'm sure you have the necessary connections to warn the leaders of the other races. And I would humbly ask that you do so, as revealing ourselves to them would present an entirely new set of difficulties for us. So that's why you sought me out first, even though in doing so you have gone against the core tenet of your order, forbidding you to revealing the existence of the knights or one's involvement with them, no matter the circumstances. It appears that Irwin has been given much to consider. She seems hesitant to speak as she looks first at you, then at Altum. Truth be told, it's a lot to take in, much less fully comprehend. You appear out of nowhere, claiming to serve an absolute God, and expect me to trust you and take you at your word. However, you have one thing in your favor. The fact that Rebecca's trust in you seems as strong as their trust in me. Based on that, I have no reason to doubt you. She's giving me a lot of, like, authority, kind of. That's the right way to say what I'm thinking. I'll have to find some way to explain to Siniad, or whatever her name is, we ought to put our trust into these particular strangers and send an official correspondence to the other continents as requested. Under ordinary circumstances, I would have consulted Llewellyn on such a matter, but in the light of his particular affiliation, I believe I can guess what he would advise me to do. Yoshi! Hello! Yes, I'm doing fantastic! I would love to do that dance with you. This is the best I can do. I have too much fun. Llewellyn's like, yup. They should have sent someone else, actually, and then have Llewellyn still be like a double agent. I have more questions about you and about House... Yeah, but they can wait. First, we must deal with the rifts and the Order of the Black Moon. I thank you for your consideration, Your Majesty. Well then, I believe that covers all the major points of this meeting. You needn't worry about the letters to Iria. You and her should... Irwin's violet eyes gaze at you unwaveringly. See to the undertakings at the ravine. Do all you can to ensure the Order of the Black Moon schemes are put to a true rout. If this really is a trial put forth by their god, then we must work together to overcome it and prove beyond a doubt that any more of such tests or tribulations are wholly unnecessary. Autumn and Etain nod as they pay heed to Irwin's words. Autumn and Llewellyn are the first to exit, giving curt bows as they leave the chamber. I'm surprised they let my guy walk in with a giant, like a two-handed sword. How are you, Yoshi? Queen Irwin, I'll contact the Pontiff's court in advance requesting the Temple of Knights remain on standby in case Tara or any other cities require their aid. If what they said is correct, the rifts will soon appear all over the continent in great numbers. The regular army and the town civil militia won't be able to respond quickly enough. Thank you, Etain. If only we had known sooner that it would be simpler to work with the Pontiff's court, we could have done so much more. Once all this is over, I pray we'll have that opportunity to accomplish great things together. I really like Etain and Enya. Because, you know, they're the same person, but I really like her character. I think she's sweet. Irwin's eyes faintly soften as Etain speaks with a gentle smile. I ask that you continue to take care of her and the expeditionary force. Froze again for a second. No! I'm sorry, I don't know why this is happening, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking with me, though. Let me try to close stuff that doesn't need to be open. I hope that screen dimmer doesn't, like, kill my eyes. Okay, yeah, I took the screen dimmer off, so it's okay now. Hopefully that removes some pressure from the system. Let me turn off my live background, too. I ask that you continue to take care of her and the expeditionary force. I have no doubt that you'll be able to return with heartening news. Understood, Your Majesty. Etain, let's be off. You turn, taking one last look at Irwin and giving her a resolute nod and smile. You then exit the chamber, following the same path Autumn and Llewellyn took a minute before. You hear Marlid and Etain following close behind, but most of all, you see it vividly in your mind's eye, the look of implicit trust and hope shown to you by the young queen. Yay, we trust each other. That's awesome, actually. I'm sorry. I can't help singing. Like, it's just a part of who I am. You know, I have one coworker who doesn't recognize a single song that I sing. Not even, like, none. And I find that really amazing and baffling. Because, like, I don't sing, like, these, like, I sing, like, some of these, like, random songs. But some some songs that I sing, some songs that I sing are viral. Like, I gave a second chance to Cupid from 50/50. I literally had to Google it. Just, wow, they were just standing out here. Let me talk to Autumn first. I still have his journal, like, in my bank, because I didn't want to get rid of it. I'm not sure if it's in my bank or in my hand. Me searching. Yeah, it's in my bank. I have, like, a whole bank tab. Ah, the corners of his lips are pulled tight, and you can tell he's doing his best to hold back a smile, hoping to present a formal figure. He appears especially conscious, of Llewellyn's sharp, sidelong glances, encouraging him to be mindful in word and deed. You decide to lead off by talking to someone else first. You got that journal lock on ya. I love Autumn. Like, I won't lie. I love Autumn and I love Piran. Linden too. I make unnecessary trips just to visit Linden. Daily, just to see what he'll say. I wish I could give him gifts. Actually, Autumn isn't normally at the, what's it called, Avalon? He isn't normally at Avalon. So I can't actually give him gifts because he's not normally on the screen. Piran rejects gifts if you meet him at Fefiata. Linden rejects gifts because he's on a boat. Laorire rejects gifts because it might be weird if somebody affiliated with the queen accepted gifts from someone. It might seem like bribery. So yeah, I can't give any gifts. But Alpin, the guy, so Laurier is the what's it called, Arcana guy. Alpin is a gardener. I feel crazy knowing that. Because everybody forgets their names. Charade! Yes, hello Charade. I want to say Shrade, but there's no raid. Or Shrigged. I'm too giggly. I'm sorry. Though I knew not the... How are you? Oh well. Though I knew that not the events that might lead to it, I always expected this day would come. I've said as much before as you are aware. Llewellyn, I can't believe you... She glanced at him with a look of cold disapproval. What are you gonna do? To have maintained such a deception for so long, with none of us the wiser, I won't raise my voice in the presence of Her Majesty, but... First, Her Majesty's in there. And not all of us were deceived, I'm just saying. Though we may not have always seen eye to eye, I thought you, of all people, were someone I could trust. Did I not caution you about displaying your emotions so openly within the castle? I can't! I seem so disrespectful. Do we have any Llewellyn fans in chat? I'm sorry. Let me calm down. I'm too giggly. Okay, do we have any Llewellyn fans? I want to hear what are the pros and cons of this guy. Because to me, he's just so disrespectful. Although he has a pretty face, he's really disrespectful. And so we are perfectly clear. I never actually deceived you. He shifts his imposing gaze past her, now addressing Etain. Do you accept my apologies, Your Holiness? Before Limerick, I was first and always a servant of Anton Smith. This was a path set before me, even from before my birth. I see. I did, on occasion, notice that you gave an oddly fragrant scent. Now I understand why that was. As a scion of House, might I presume that your entire family is involved in this? But what family would think to entrust their firstborn to such a dangerous calling? Since the days of antiquity, the Alban Knights have served Anton Simeni in secret, stewards of his will in this world. With the passing of eras, they have presumed lost to an annals of history to have faded into legend with the passage of time. It reminds me of Dynasty Warrior. You know how at the end they're like, if you play on easy, it says like these legends long forgotten in the flow of, I mean, these stories, what? This tale, long forgotten in the flow of time, are about the legends which no one can recall. It reminds me of that line. Don't ask me how I know that. The exact lines. But to see you standing before me, hale and whole, is abundantly clear that my predecessor's tales were no more chivalric bedtime stories. As I recall, Isla once spoke of meeting someone presumed to be a member of the Alban Knights. Sup, bars. You sup. Wait, hold on. Let me check something really quick. Because I feel like I recognize your username too. Still, I have to check. It's like a secret. No, I didn't. I didn't post in that chat where I think I know you from. But hello. You sup. Hismas. Yeah, I'm from Noir PC. Okay. I was wondering. I assume that the most recent incident at the Royal Castle proves something of a turning point for you as well. Thank you so much for coming in. Sorry. For a turning point for you as well, after which you could no longer abide the functions of Hamarek. Long did I, too, remain hesitant. I believed that spending too much time in prayer and communication with Limerick was the most I could do. But Limerick has given all of us a direct warning, and it does not lack for you in its clarity. Everyone must join forces together. That includes... Allow me to guess. You believe that includes all of us as well. I do now. In the beginning, I wasn't certain. But as I began my journey to cleanse the land of these rifts, I became aware of the tracks we left behind, and soon come to believe that our paths would inevitably cross. Our organization does much, almost all in secret, to protect this world from the threats beyond this world, and preserve the will of Anton Semeni? Y'all help me. If that's not how you say it, I don't know what it is. Commander, perhaps we ought to be a little more precise with our phrasing, given the recent change in our circumstances. Now that we have revealed our existence to the Queen and to those trustworthy souls gathered here, you sense a definite undercurrent of satisfaction between Llewellyn's cynical words. He slowly taps a finger lightly against his lip as he continues. I hope that at the very least, making ourselves known to you has conveyed some sense of urgency of the situation. I can assure you that this decision was not an easy one for the commander. In service of Anton Semeni's will, certain measures sometimes prove necessary in order to prevent the defiance of that very will. As one of steady faith, filled with divine power, we consider her to be one of us. Wow, I feel special. I kind of already knew that, but, you know, Altum validating me. And we cannot stand idle, as one of our own repeatedly tested and taxed, putting their very life in danger. At our core, we're an order that exists to protect, and that to an end, we have to protect each other. As for Hamrick and the Order of the Black Moon, we only have to look at what they want and the path they're walking to achieve it. Can we truly say it? It's Anton Semeni's will for us to embrace a future built by those who don't care how many die as long as they're able to get what they want. Let us not mince words. Lives have been lost throughout the night's history because we held our secrecy. But what lies in store should we falter here in incomparable to aunt that has come before? I cannot with Llewellyn. Like, his language is so poetic for no reason. Fine, I get it. I'm not going to let slip to anyone that the existence of your organization. Doing so would only serve to stir up more trouble for the royal court, and I doubt that's what Her Majesty would want. The shadow of terrible threats loom over the Troy Ravine. Could it be that they're intended to exploit the divine power of Avalon, that farm sanctuary spoken of in story and song? We're still not sure of their exact purpose either, only that whatever their aim is certain to endanger the lives of all across Erin. Do I have his cookies? And now I'm thinking about Altum's cookie. I have his cookies, right? Where are the cookies? I feel like I should stop this conversation and get the cookies. Commander, our knights should have arrived at the ravine by now. I'm afraid it will be a long, confusing affair for those involved without us there to explain things. Then should we head out at once? We have to continue our discussion later. I'd like to see this resolved as soon as possible. She is pissed. Marlin shoots one last frosty glare Llewellyn's way before summarily turning and striding out towards the castle courtyard. Marlin, you needn't worry. I'd go after her. We should make our way back to the ravine as well. I'm sure everyone can already tell something strange is happening. It would be best for us to get there as soon as we are able. Commander, we must set out immediately as well. Based on the timeline outlined prior to their departure, I expect that they may already have made contact. Understood. I'll be ready to go shortly. Just as you're about to leave the royal castle with everyone else, Alton tugs at your sleeve. Oh, excuse me. If you have a moment, can I trouble you a few minutes of your time? There's something I need to tell you in private. You sense the desperation reflected in his turquoise eyes. Talk to Alton before leaving the royal castle. Yes. On heck with the formalities of office. It's been far too long. I've really missed you, my friend. After scanning the surroundings to make sure the place is free of uninvited eyes and ears, Alton finally relaxes into his wide, sunny smile you know suits him best. Llewellyn told me again and again that I can't interact with you the way I used to, and I've tried to take it to heart. It's just really hard not to rush over and greet you the moment you walked into the room. I can't believe you're already here. Perhaps it's unseemly of me to feel such gladness amidst these grim circumstances in which we found ourselves, but it's just so good to see you. Oh, that's right. I nearly forgot. The cookies! Ah! The cookies, wait. Yes, these are for you. I remember you really liked them. So I made some more for you. Let me just say, trying to make these and bring them along with anyone, without anyone else knowing, was a full-on stealth mission. I know the road ahead. Sorry. Sorry. I'm so excited. I love autumn. Hold on, I really wanted these cookies. I wanted these cookies so badly. These cookies, I love the cookies. Okay. Okay. I know the road ahead promises no shortage of difficulties for us, so I just wanted to give you a little something, my way of saying that I'm rooting for you. I hope you enjoy them. Oh, and just so you know, Llewellyn and Evelyn can never know about this, okay? I'll get in a lot of trouble if they ever find out. So let's just have this be our little secret, okay? Autumn clears his throat a few times before exchanging his bashful grin for the stern expression one would expect for a commander of the Alban Knights. I feel I should apologize that I couldn't tell you about our decision sooner. He may have told you himself, but that Merlin guy dropped by the sanctum a few times. After talking to him, I learned he was able to pass freely through the gates because of the divine power he received from Talvish a long time ago. To be honest, something about him feels a bit shady, but there's no question he knows Talvish. And they've been known to converse with each other at the springs. Since he's a friend of yours, we decided to permit him into our midst, at least for now. He also let us know on multiple occasions that he has been hoping we would take action. In truth, I have to admit his testimony helped convince the others to agree to this decision. I'm not sure if there would be a different dialogue if I had the cookies in my inventory while he said that, because he gave us cookies before. I'm still thinking about the cookies. So now I have 2 cookies. He also let us know on multiple occasions that he's been hoping we would take action. In truth, I have to admit his testimony helped convince the others to agree to this decision. Sometimes when I'm praying alone in the sanctum, I'll hear Talvish's voice. It doesn't happen often, mind you, but I've been hearing it more and more frequently over the last few months. The Order of the Black Moon was mentioned by name as well. They've been subject of frequent debate among the knights, as we struggled with how to define them and what, if anything, we should do about them. As you listen to Autumn talk about official business so seriously, you can't help but notice he looks more grown up than you remember. He appears to be choosing his words with great care. You should know that Talvish is very concerned for you as well. And he seems very busy. I mean, with the traces of otherworldly gods still lingering in so many forgotten corners of the world. I suppose that's not a task that will be finished anytime soon. Still, we're certainly received a great deal of help from Talvish ourselves, whether directly or indirectly. He never explicitly said that there was a reason why, just that it wasn't yet time for our paths to intersect his. You know, in that cryptic way he sometimes puts things. But I think he also meant that statement for you. But you know, I can't help feeling that he's watching over us to make sure we weren't led astray. It might not be the time yet, but I think he'll be there to help. I'm sorry, my language. Graham, hello. I don't have you as a friend on Steam. It is the same information, so Rebecca828 I'm Rebecca828SS or Rebecca828 everywhere. It might not be the time yet, but I think he'll be there to help us when we need it the most. Don't you think so, too? I believe you and the others feel the same way. Anyhow, while I'd love nothing more to stay and chat a little longer, I'm afraid duty calls. There's no longer any doubt that the Order is trying to exploit the divine light of Avalon, the power of the lands of Philias, in service of some great plan of theirs. My working assumption is that they're trying to bring about another of their knights. This is probably the only chance we'll have to stop them. I just pray you didn't arrive at our decision too late. Come on, let's make haste. I've already given the order to our unit leaders, so those should be gathered by the ravine now. You look into Altum's determined eyes and nod empathically. Return to the Troy Ravine and stop the Order of the Black Moon's plot cold in its tracks. Let's go! Let me talk to him again. Their actions have deviated too far from the will of Anton Ivan. They may not have begun their endeavors as fanatics or with malice in their hearts, but nothing that comes from the cost of so many innocent lives can possibly be right, and I don't intend to simply stand by and let it happen. I know this might be a little... No, okay. Altum special... Altum special herbal cookies, a snack that Altum gave you. He claims it's good for rejuvenating both mind and body. They're cut into adorable little shapes. Though you wonder how tasty a herbal cookie could really be. I love the 1-star quality. Alright, got it. Arigato. I'll make good use of it. The mortuary assistant. Thank you so much. Okay, talk to Starlight in the Troy Ravine. Fefiata is the quickest path. If she's in the same spot. She actually isn't. Because the Troy Ravine is different from where I was standing in Belvast. So I should still just use the Moongate. That's still the quickest way. Or maybe it's just like a different location closer to Combas. I really don't like being in the Troy Ravine because everything like poisons you, and I'm not a fan. The songless bird. She's like over here. I read that in my mind. I'll open Steam later because I don't want to risk doing anything that will like take away bandwidth. This music is pretty good. Matthew is really good at making music in general. You remember that ominous sense of dread I felt in Tara? The air is thick with it, especially over in the depths of the ravine where Hunter went missing. I patrolled this area more than any sensible gal should, but in all those times I've never seen it is so dismal and gloomy. Hey, you met with our nightly friends, right? It seemed like they're more or less made up their minds the last time we talked. Oh, and I already brought Aaron and Starlet up to speed about them, so don't worry. Merlin, are you really supposed to be doing that? I think up to speed is probably overselling it a little, given the main takeaways were, hey, they're an ancient order of knights, and they're extremely secretive. But having their assistance will prove a big help in getting Hunter back. Besides, it seems like the path they've taken isn't all that different from our own goal of keeping the world safe. And since we share a common enemy, I'll gladly cooperate with them. Merlin said they were going to lend us their forces, so that's a good enough reason for me. Anyway, I think we all have a pretty good grasp of the situation now. Not bad if I say so myself. I guess I can add explaining things to the long list of things I'm great at. Merlin, please. Judging by the look on your face, I'm gonna assume things turned out just as I expected. I'd like to think I made a convincing argument to them. After all, they can't just protect a world that's been blown to smithereens, now can I? Phew. Sometimes it really does take a genius mage like yours truly to get the job done. Sweet, so that's one thing crossed off the old list. Merlin puffs his chest out triumphantly as he takes a moment to indulge in a bit of self-congratulation, but his expression soon darkens again as he fixes his gaze on the murky skies beyond the ravine. Our next problem is to deal with that. We did a thorough sweep of the ravine while you were gone, hoping to find some sort of clue that Hunter might have left behind. When he gets back, I'm going to make sure he knows how depressed he made me, his poor monkey, from now on. For now, though Jay and the culinary artist are taking good care of Pinky, I know that Jay is not exactly in the best shape to monkey sit, but I figured he probably ought to stay in town for now. Anyway, as we were doing our sweep of the area, we found scuff marks near the broken bridge leading inward from the altar, the kind you see when something or someone has been dragged off. Why the heck would they drag him off if he agreed to go with them? But that's about when we suddenly ambushed by all sides by the Black Moon cultists. They must have realized we were getting ready to rain on their parade. Anyway, we decided it would be smarter to join up with you before we took any decisive action. So we settled on giving them a medium thrashing and sent them back on their way. But based on the heavy feeling in the atmosphere, whatever it is they're trying to do, they must have been very close to achieving it. The way they came to us reeked of desperation and derangement. Hold on, I need to pause for a second. My voice is struggling. Hold on. Let me mute this really quick. I'm back. Hope you ain't got the vid. No, I don't. I shouldn't. I'll be really depressed because I already had it twice. I can't do it a third time. I only knew something was wrong because I eat yogurt like a lot. And I love the taste of yogurt. So I was just there eating it. And then one day, I couldn't taste it. And that's when I knew that it was about to get real. That was the very first day. Like in Legend of Zelda. Majora's Mask, how it's like dawn of the third day. 24 hours remain. It probably has to do with the fact that I'm drinking Sprite and not water. And I don't drink Sprite that much, so my throat is hurting. That's a good signal. Ayy, Majora's Mask reference to boot, love it. Yes, I love that game. It's my favorite Legend of Zelda game, actually. As you take a closer look at each of them, you realize that Merlin, Aaron, and Starlit all bear the marks of a pitched battle. That was nothing, Merlin. Right now, the only thing that matters is getting Hunter back and putting a stop to whatever they're planning. Totally. Besides, I hardly even broke a sweat back there. Though I admit it's tough to fight an enemy who can apparently afford to throw wave after wave of cannon fodder at you. Even weak soldiers can wear you down over time if there's an endless stream of them. Sure, would be nice if some strong, reliable reinforcements showed up right about now. Agreed. It would be very reassuring for us to have such allies as yourself. As Aaron flashes a lighthearted grin at someone behind you, a firm and familiar voice answers back. Who? 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 Piran! Piran! Rebecca, Miss Merlian shared some of the details with us. So, even they have decided to take a stand. I'm relieved, honestly. For us to stop the Great One and the Order's plans on our own would have been, well, to put it perfectly honest, I always thought it would be impossible. Hence the relief, I guess. Baron! No. Soon, dear Hebel. Soon I'll... They gave me the gist of how things stand. It sounds like the innermost depths of the Troy Ravine that you, Baltair, and I discovered is where the Order... Now I forgot. Let me see if I remember Twitch. I don't know why it was so hard for me at the beginning of stream. I couldn't even spell Twitch. Like, it was really hard for me for no reason. Okay. And I discovered it's where the Order of the Black Moon lies in wait for us. To put it in another way, that's where they've to put it another way, that's where they've been cornered. It's likely that the rifts have appeared across the world, just trial runs for whatever it is that they're trying to pull off now. That's my theory too. I gotta hand it to those crazy cultists. They managed to spread their chaos across the land and experiment at the same time. I'd even go so far as to say that what's happening now and all the other nights that have happened so far has all been to bring whatever's coming next. Their, their usual tactics have been to take their time and act with secrecy, but this time, it's like they didn't care how blatant they were, or how much attention their actions drew. What? Are they in some kind of hurry? I think it's safe to assume they are. So many of their original plans have fallen into disarray at this point, that the fact that they're changing ahead leads me to believe they've acquired something that can more than compensate for their failures. Piran appears calm on the surface, but you can hear a touch of anguish in his voice. Merlin, you said that the large number of followers appeared from deeper in, right? Yep, none of them were anything much on their own, but they were able to swarm the three of us with sheer numbers. It didn't seem wise to tire ourselves this early on, so we decided it would be best to wait for her, and the reinforcements arrived. I cannot help but shudder, wondering what might await us there. Deeper in, I feel overwhelmed darkness, and its presence terrifies me. I cannot help but recall the dream given to me by Limerick. The sky here looks exactly like the one I saw in my vision on that harrowing day. But I know I must have seen it for a reason. I was brought out of that dismal basement into the light to ensure it doesn't become a reality. My coworker, who never realizes my songs, just texted me and sent me a gift. What is this? What is this? She sent me like, "Hey girl," with her like on a scooter. What is this? Got the tickets. Oh, we're gonna see Barbie movie, and she just got us our tickets. Yay! You wouldn't happen to know the way to reconnect that broken bridge, would you? That's right. Didn't you say you were gonna figure it out somehow? Way ahead of you there, friends. Friendos. Don't you worry about a thing. Old Merlin's got you covered. There's just one thing, though. Merlin smiles confidently as he focuses his attention fully on Enya. It'd be much obliged if... Oh, no! Oh, why would you say that? Merlin, please, you know that's a secret. Or did he not? I don't know. No, he knew. He knew he shouldn't reveal her identity like that. Merlin, you suck. You shouldn't say that. Okay, he's nice. He's awesome. I like him. I love Merlin as a character, but he does not need to be revealing other people's secrets like that. It'd be much obliged if Her Holiness the Pontiff would lend me a hand. Rebecca, Peru. Peru. Rate the first person I see. Okay, let's go. I see Muriel first, so I'll rate her. I'm glad we didn't pause on Piran, because I love Piran, but he looking... Let's just say I am not the biggest fan of green or whatever he's wearing. Muriel, though, I don't like whatever this band is. Like, have it the same on both sides. Let's be symmetrical. At least that's my opinion. Asymmetry is really hard to pull off. But I love her hair. This top tier hair. Yes. How are you, Peru? And then redeem to hydrate. Thank you. I love her outfit. And I love her stance. Her eyes, really nice. They're really cute. Her smile is very similar to my smile, too. They're a little different. Hers is thicker and, like, what's it, more tilted up, I guess? I would give her a solid... I like her silhouette. I would give her, like, a solid 8.5. With my only complaints being, like, this strap right here. Why not have the strap on both sides? And then also, I'm not sure I really like the texture on her dress. Like, there's, like, pleating, it looks like. Then there's, like, a corset with, like, tassels. And then, like, fuzziness. Like, there's a lot going on. I'm good in Ubi. What is Ubi? I mean, Ubi. Ubisoft? You. Who are you really? The power sense from you is completely unique, but Wait, you know who I am? Oh no, what did I get? What did I do to give myself away? Oh, it was obvious from the start. You're clearly someone who's beloved by God. Folks like that aren't exactly common on this continent. And here I thought I was done such a good job concealing my identity. I suppose I never counted on meeting someone of such unusual talents. He's just a weirdo, honey. Plain and simple. You'll get used to him eventually. Erin. She's not wrong. It took me some time to adjust to his general strangeness, but I've come to accept that's just the way Merlin is. If you're concerned about keeping your identity a secret, you needn't worry. It's not Merlin's style to divulge secrets. He literally just did. He likes hoarding them to himself far too much. Oh, do my ears deceive me, or did Starlight just pay me a compliment? But she's right. I would never, ever spill the beans. Cross your heart. My lips are sealed. I'm so confused. Is anyone gonna take him at his word when he just revealed her secret? He really needs to chill. Well, that comes something of a relief. I can't imagine how troublesome it would be to have someone like you blabbering about us. What? Well, it looks like who... Well, look who decided to show up. Took you long enough. Did you march here backwards or something? You hear the sound of approaching footsteps in time with the rustling clank of metal. I don't know why I'm looking around like they're actually going to be walking up. Altam. Caswin, Penne. Okay, I actually like them too a lot. Overall, the Divine Knights are like really my style. Not like cosmetically. Like cosmetically, they're not the best. Like Altam has green eyes. Y'all already know how I feel about green. Penne, her eyes are a much more tolerable shade of green. But I don't really like her eye shape. And then Caswin. I don't really have much issue with Caswin actually, but he's actually wearing his armor right. He didn't used to do that. He changed. His model is different now. I remember his costume used to be like ridiculous. Let's see if his model changed too. Yeah, it's different. Ah, I see everyone's already here. Pardon our delay. It took me a while to round up all the unit commanders. Bro, that should have happened long ago. Like, you even gave them the leader... Like, you even gave the unit leaders word when we were still back in Terra. Pardon my delay. It took a while to round up. Okay, well. Oh, I didn't even notice them. My bad. I didn't even see them there. I only saw Ben and Goswin. There's a bit of a process we need to go through to authorize our gathering in one place. And that's to say nothing of all the contingency planning we had to do. I'm confused. Did they use her old model for a second? I thought I saw her long hair for a second. I think it's time we've seen each other since the Squire's practical training. You might be I like her eyes here more than I like them. I like them 2D more than I like 3D. Daftus! Hey! Howdy! It's so nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. What is this emote? Oh! It's like he's vaping or something. Or just smoking, I don't know. You might be interested to know that the Sanctum and its gates are currently under the protection of those very squires. They've been undergoing a rigorous training regimen, but with Sean in charge, I'm sure they won't be any problem. Weed. Commander, I feel like we've been a wiser... It would have been a wiser decision to have left me in charge rather than another unit leader. Llewellyn, you know very well that your assistance with his campaign would be a great boon to the commander. Llewellyn. Her sharp eyes slowly study you before moving to scrutinize each member of the expeditionary force and the aces. But how are you, Daftus? And beyond that, your familiarity with her companions makes you an ideal for the task at hand. You see a quick glance at Merlian, who still seems to be glowering at Llewellyn with a look of quiet disapproval. Ah, So these are your companions. We acquired some new intelligence on our way here. We have confirmed sightings from several members out on patrol in a number of regions. While I don't believe we're too late, we've no time to waste. We thought it would be best to inform you. As things stand, an unprecedented number of rifts have been opening everywhere, both large and small. It's strange considering the frequency of their appearances have been on a downward trajectory until recently. What? Everywhere? But that's just an unmitigated disaster. Do you really think this lull we've been experiencing was merely the calm before the storm? It appears... Oh, let me shout out Living Dreamer now that we're here. Because they were first in chat, actually. Oh, and they're still here, lurking. That makes it easier to shout people out. It appears that the continent of Iria isn't faring much better. Apparently, Titan's Irian headquarters has also been exchanging some very urgent correspondence. What? Then even in Val's, we just got rid of those things, and now they're coming back? I guess my hometown is no exception. That's one thing about the Order of the Black Moon. They're tenaciously thorough. According to the reports, these rifts aren't expelling matter like the ones we've seen before. Just so. In fact, from all our first-hand sources could gather, they appear to be slowly drawing their surroundings inward. Caswin has the right of it, I'm afraid, and that information is the last we received before the report was suddenly cut off. So, Laggy, hello! We're on Model 3 right now. So if you want to try Model 2, you can. Model 2. And then, yeah, this is my other model. She is drastically shorter now that I'm realizing it. What's happening, girl? And then there was someone else I wanted to shout out too. So Living Dreamer is a Mabby streamer, I believe. I always see them playing Mabby anyway, but I feel like they might be doing other things. Charade is also a streamer, and then Skull and Trust. Wait, what? Skull and Hope. I'm sorry. I call him by his like Mabby name. So let me get the next shout out ready. Shout out for Skull and Hope. They're not gonna let me do it right now though, because they limit me on the shout outs that I can do back to back. Wait, are you saying that the rifts are absorbing? It can't be. You don't think they're gathering life force to use as fuel for one of their rituals, do you? I heard you guys were a fairly large organization, and so I was wondering if that was true. Why are so few of you showed up? I think I'm beginning to get the full picture now. You dispatched your knights all across Ulda and Iria. It's less than you left behind, and more like their active monitoring of the situation made it possible for you to come here yourselves. Oh, Penne, I don't like seeing her sad either. By now, the kingdom has no doubt realized the gravity of the situation. Having experienced several nights already, they've become rather adept at assembling a quick response. According to the latest report, however, nothing but out of the ordinary has yet occurred at Royal Castle. You make it sound like these things are alright for the time being, but to hold out in the face of such conditions. Her Majesty will be... I lurk away. Alright, have fun with your lurk. Thank you so much for stopping in. Skull and Hope is a DVD streamer, so they do DVD and Dislight. And now I'm going to change it back to Model 3 because I personally like Model 3 more. Now that Laggy is lurking. And then, what was I saying? I forgot. Her Majesty will be... We encountered 4 or 5 rifts just on our way here. We left behind just enough of the knights to counter and contain them, and it pains me to say this, but I don't expect our men and women to last long. Oh no! Altum's expression is hardened and stoic, but his voice is choked with emotion. In a moment, A pall falls over all assembled here. Then a small but firm voice rings amid the silence. All of you gathered here have come knowing that each of us may be asked to give everything we have, to destroy the root of this evil once and for all. Indeed, Your Holiness, in the same self-same spirit, have we joined this fight. Self-same spirit? What is that? I could no longer bear to watch this go on any longer, to see the world ravaged by terror after terror, trauma after trauma. I believe I speak for all of us when I say that whatever is unfolding here, it must be stopped, no matter the cost. One way or another, this has to end. One way or another, I'm gonna find you. Okay, now let me shout out Charade, another another Mabby streamer. I was about to say they're a DVD streamer. Absolutely not. But I think they're more of a variety. I feel like I've seen them playing other things other than Mabby. If Charade is still here, feel free to give yourself. Oh, I have to wait 1 second? Really? They said I have to wait 1 second. Charade. Make no mistake, we are locked in a mortal struggle with the Order of the Black Moon, and neither we nor they can afford to back down now. We must push deeper into the ravine. Those crazed fools will be back here soon enough. The time to act is now. But we can't go anywhere until we fix that broken bridge. The one in the middle still seems to be intact, but there's no way we can cross that one further in. This line. Black robed. I don't think we can type that. I think Mabby will censor it if I try to type it. Are hiding, so that's where we need to go. Whoa. Calm down. Old Merlin's got you covered. Once we get there, I'll fix it up right. So prepare to be razzle-dazzled by my amazing magic. Alright, so the bottom line is, it's essential Merlin makes it inside, right? In that case, I'll stay and guard near. Aaron, I'm glad to see that at least some here understand what kind of situation we're in. Surely none of you expected the Order to simply just proceed in peace. More than likely, they've come at us from all sides. Frankly, I'm not even sure how long we can afford to stand around discussing this. The other knights can only hold out for so long. Then some of us will have to buy time while the bridge is being repaired. No, Piran needs to go in. Because if anybody's going to be able to stop the inhibit, it's Piran. I'll stay behind too. I can't leave Aaron here all by her lonesome, but he's also at most risk at dying, if I'm being honest. Kiki, hello! And you're never too late. It's not too late, it's never too late. But if they send enough, 2 people may be able enough to deal with them all. Isn't that right? Oh! Yes! You know, I really ship them together. I really like them together. They're so cute. Oh yeah, and you're gonna need someone who can send them flying with a single swing of the axe. Someone like me. Oh. Guess I'm hanging back with the ladies. Besides, the human mage should be able to get that bridge back up in no time at all. You know it. Nice to see more people finally recognize my brilliance. Okay, yeah, I was expecting this. I'm not even gonna lie, Grim. I'm not even gonna lie, Spider. I knew 100% you were gonna hijack me. I knew it. So that's a whole bottle right there. Okay. Yes. Okay, I don't want to leave you guys in too much silence, so I'm going to put a pause on drinking that, and I'll drink some more. Drink some Kool-Aid. I don't have Kool-Aid, but if I did, I would. I won't take long, I promise. Don't push yourselves too hard, and be sure to join back with us as soon as you can, alright? Don't get all serious on us now, Merlin. It's just not your style, right, Starlet? Oh, Aaron. Go on, all of you, and leave things here to us. I'll see you when we're done. I'm sure it won't take too long, so go on ahead. Do you remember back at that? It wasn't so different from now. It sure seems like it was ages ago now, doesn't it? Still, I remember it was like yesterday. You know you're right, Muriel. I'm not sure if it's because I delayed this generation for so long, but it does feel like a really, really long time. I'm out here reminiscing what happened last generation. Actually, no, it wasn't generation, right? It was Apocalypse? No, it was Tempest. It was Tempest. That was 2 generations ago, at least in my defense. Chug it. I never said I would chug it. Wait, no, I'll drink it all. Okay, okay, I'll drink it. Muriel, Butcher, please be careful. And the same goes for you, Aaron and Starlet. Man, you guys worry too much. Just get inside and make sure Hunter's okay. I'm like pausing for dramatic effect while drinking. Understand, leave the rear defense to the 4. Understood. What? Understood. We'll leave the rear defense to the 4 of you. Altum turns to you with a faint smile on his lips, nodding to signal that the time for action has come. You nod back. Altum calls out and gestures to the Alban Knights, who immediately move out. I really need to, like, use the restroom. They have to be stopped now, before it's too late. They're gathering more and more power. If we don't defeat them here, we may never have another chance. Almost done. Oh my gosh. Okay, I drank that. I have nothing left to hydrate with. Ah, there's so much. So much. Now I really need to pee. Okay. Wait, is Autumn still here? No, they just vanished. Look how quickly they took off. Guess I'd be in a hurry too if I knew my friends were buying me time. I know what's at stake here. Every moment wasted translates to more people suffering. We should catch up with the Knights. It makes the most sense to stay together as a group. Now I got like hiccups. Okay. Merlin should Merlin should catch up with the Knights. It makes the most sense to stay together as a group. But just to verify once more, you're sure we can repair the bridge right away, correct? Earlier, you said you need my help, so don't hesitate to tell me what you need of me. Relax. The bridge will be the easy part. I just need you to assist me with some stuff, that's all. Anyway, Starlet, Aaron, take care of yourselves, okay? Don't be surprised if we catch up to you sooner than you expected, Merlin. Right? Merlin, you're such a worrywart. So, get going. Time's a-wasting, and it wouldn't do to keep Hunter waiting. Alright, leave everything to me. I'm glad to have you guys watching my back. We've got this. Not even a rat will be able to slink past us. See you on the other side till we meet again. Okay, just like before I follow Altum, I probably don't even have time to follow Altum if I'm being honest. But I just want to like conclude now that everybody's here. One more time, I'm gonna hold a clip contest. It's probably gonna be for the end of the month. So specifically like a month from now, which would be August 28th, well 27th, 29th. And then probably on that like Thursday, the 31st, I'll announce who the winner is, but basically just clip my content and then the clip that gets the most views I'll give $10 to. and then like 10, like a clip that's usable. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so like don't like clip every single thing. But like, you know, I'll go through and filter everything. And then whichever clip gets the most views over every platform that I post it on, which would be TikTok, YouTube, obviously Twitch clips, and then yeah, then I will give the $10 to on that 31st. I'll announce the winner, and then also, yeah. So I hope there's like a lot of clips and it will be fun. And yes, I probably will wait a little bit. Seeing Muriel's gentle smile suddenly fills you with inexplicable dread. What is it? We're not making you anxious, are we? Don't worry, it'll be okay. You should know better than to underestimate the mighty Baltaire. When I get swinging, who's gonna stop me? But if you're worried, I guess you can stay for just a minute longer. Calm your anxious nerves and talk to Aaron again when you feel ready. So we'll pick up this part next stream. I'm just gonna check my homestead real quick. Wouldn't it be amazing? Has anyone ever got like something truly amazing from the pet exploration board? Like Kraken Heart or Misty Red Gem? Oh, and also the way you can submit clips to me would be most like it's gonna be on Discord. So just like you can either do it on Twitch and then use Twitch clips, and then I'll automatically see it. But still, like, let me know you want to be considered for the contest in Discord. And then if you're on YouTube, you can just like, I'm not sure how to do it on there, but probably downloading the video and then clipping the section. I'm not sure if anybody knows how to just do that better than I would. But yes, then upload any clip you clipped on YouTube and then put it on my Discord. Or you could possibly email it to me as well. That works as well. Maybe I can give $15 if you want it in NX. Why? Because NX is more fun. And then I can hear what you did with it. Oh, these expired. That's a bummer. It's probably only like 24 hours, right? Did I die? Okay, well, thank you so much everyone for joining me. I am probably going to raid out to someone. I'm going to do the Bard guy because he's playing Mabby right now. I don't know. Should I do Bard guy or Iratos? Let's do the Bard guy. Let's do the Bard guy. Because he has less viewers. Yep. That's all the Mabby people I know that are streaming. Bard guy is awesome. He's literally a bard and a guy. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to explain it, but they're playing Mabby right now, so I hope you all enjoy them as well. See you all next time.